Hi guys, my name is Manny. I'm the owner of Florida Machinery. I'm one of the holster dealers, and we want to talk about a little bit today about why we choose Florida Machinery chooses holster to be their edge banding and sales company. We definitely like holster edge banders. We do like the glue jet technology. We do like the fact that you can add on multiple colors on a holster machine. You can add on PUR at no extra cost to you. We can run our cleaners at the end of the day. So today we're going to talk about our different machines a little bit. We are going to talk about technology. We want you to understand the difference between one machine and another, and we want to spend some time talking to you about the glue system. All our competitors have glue pods. We patent our system. We can't be copied. We inject our glue in the substrate. We don't have no glue in the top, the bottom, or the two sides of our panels. And this makes our product superior to any of our competitors. When you're rolling, you're not getting the same application. It's like, imagine using a roller, like if you're using a paintbrush. If you ever painted a crown molding or a molding, you would notice that on the side you have paint coming on all the sides. This is the same thing with your glue pods. Okay, you have glue all over the place, so now you have routers on your top and your bottoms. You're cleaning your glue when the buffer at the end does not really do too much in one of these machines. Our machines were completely different. Our machines, we're going to inject the glue in the substrate. We're going to apply the tape. We're going to be routing with no glue on the top or the bottom. None of our tooling are full of glue, and at the end we're going to use our polishers to polish what they're used for, not to clean. So let's take a quick tour around. We're going to be moving you from machine to machine. We want to show you a couple of our options. We want to show you a couple of our different models that maybe you're looking at and you haven't made the purchase yet, but maybe this video can help you get this purchase done already. So we're going to start off. I'd like to talk to you a little bit about our glue jet system. This is one of our key features that we have in any of our machines. So our glue jet system is, we have a cartridge, we have granulate also. So a lot of our competitors say that we cannot use granulate, we only can use cartridge. That is not true. Any of our glue stations can use granulate. We prefer to put a cartridge just because it's a simple way. Just pop it in the system, you close it, the piston itself would inject the cartridge through the front, and this is your heating station. So this is heating station cut in half. This is our heaters. Okay, this is about a $600 part. That is our glue pod, what you consider our heating station. So anybody that has a glue pod, you know your glue pod repair a year or every couple years is about $3,000 to $4,000, depending on manufacturer you purchase the machine. When you buy a holster, you don't have that extra cost. We do a lot of service. I would say we've changed one glue system in the last 10 years that we've been in doing service for holster. It was actually probably an over 20-year-old machine. One of the things that we also do here with holster is we give you a 3-year warranty. Our machine is a 1-year warranty, but on our glue station, our glue jet, we do offer a 3-year warranty. The reason we do that is because our glue stations does not break. They last for a while. Very little maintenance on them, almost no maintenance, to be honest with you, on them. And we're going to give you a 3-year warranty. We want to show our customers that when we're against our competitors, our word is true. When we say this, we mean it. We give you the extra warranty because we believe our product's superior. Nobody else in the business will give you a 3-year warranty on their glue pod. They know that they have to replace their glue pod, clean their glue pod, or some sort of way service that glue pod, and that is a moneymaker for them. Most of our competitors have separate departments only for glue pods, and they have several workers there making money, taking your money because you have a glue pod. So let's first start off. I like to move around a little bit. I like to start off with the 1052 model. This is our startup model. So our 1052 is our entry level machine. This is our startup machine. This is what we call our compact machine. So guys that don't have a lot of space, that may be running, have warehouses that are 1,500 square feet, 1,000 square feet. This is a pretty good size machine. Does it all that you can have in your facility and doesn't take a lot of space. Once again, you can still do 60 millimeter height on this machine, just like our other ones. You were running all diamond tooling on as far as our routers. Has buffers, it has end trim. It's a nice start-off machine to start off. A lot of our customers will have started off on the 1052s and move over, 1308, 1327 along the years, and they're happy customers. So once again, it's all because of our glue jet technology. Our glue is really what sets us apart from many of our competitors. Once again, here you see our glue jet technology, simple setup. Our glue is activated in there. Close it, put a cartridge, let it eject out. It's going to give you nice lines in our substrates, and it's going to give you good quality. This machine is a 1, 2, and 3 millimeter radius machine. We can also chamfer if you need. So guys that are doing mica, we can kill that edge for you. We can also do any 1 millimeter material you need, high glosses, textured materials, the closet companies that are running 2 millimeter material. This also is a machine that can be used for closet companies, even though it's a smaller startup machine. Equivalent wise, it's a strong machine. It's just a compact machine for guys that do not have space. We're going to move over right now to the 1053 X Pro, I believe they call it. And this 1053 here is our second machine in our arsenal of Edgebanders. So the difference between 1052 and 1053, big difference, is scrapers. If you are doing a lot of work and you need some scraping, you might want to consider a 1053, just alone because of the fact you have scraper units and it can get your material scraped. In this specific model, we added on pre-mill units. So it's called 1053X or Pro, one of those two. And so this has a pre-mill unit. Let's go to the back real quick, Kristen. Let's talk about a little bit about pre-milling. So pre-milling is pretty new to the game. It's been around a couple years. The smaller machines, most of the bigger machines for the last 5 years, machines over 100,000, you're going to see pre-mills. The lower machines were not with pre-mills. Today, 95% of Florida machinery sales are pre-mill related. So we'll usually start you off on a 1054 with a pre-mill. The advantage of pre-milling is if you have a table saw, if you're cutting on a sliding table saw, or even if you have a beam saw, you're going to have two different things. You're either going to have chip on the bottom if you're cutting on a table saw because you don't have a scoring blade, simple table saw, or if you're cutting on a sliding table saw where you do have a scoring blade, now you have an open glue line. The open glue line is when you have your saw blade, your bottom saw blade needs to be a thicker curve than your top saw blade for no chipping. Well, now that thicker curve usually you're doing it with a conic blade or you're shimming it out. Well, now you have 0.5, 0.2 on each side where you have an open line. So what's happened is your material is not really flush. It's flush and has a quite little bevel on the bottom from the scoring knife. Well, the moment you inject glue on that bottom panel, you're gonna see a big darker line because that line is because of glue. Okay, most of our customers that use clear glue will have a black line. So we recommend always adding on a pre-mill unit if you have a table saw, if you have a sliding table saw, or even a beam saw. We just love pre-milling. These are diamond tooling. They're not on a rocker like most of our competitors. They're solid. They're two different motors coming in and out. We do supply them with diamond tooling. And you're going to have 60 millimeter blade working height. So that's most of our competitors are not anywhere close to 60. They're about in the 45s. We're all the way to 60s. If you have a big, larger panel, you can run in any of these holz-her machines. So other advantage of pre-milling is if you're doing doors, if you're supplying doors for the industry, and you're having to cut a 14-inch door, Well, now if you're edge banding material that's 2 millimeter or 1 millimeter, now if you add on 1 millimeter each side of a door by 2 doors, you're off 4 to 8 millimeters. So one of the things you want our customers tend to do is they adjust the pre-mill to whatever height, thickness that they're adding on their edge bander. So if they're adding on 2 millimeter material, you're going to see our pre-mills are going to be set to 2. And it's within a couple seconds, we can change our pre-mills from 1 to 2 back and forth. And what that's going to do is now is when your part comes out of the machine, you took all the 2 millimeter you're eating on both sides. When the part comes out, your door is going to be true to size. No longer do you have to go to your beam saw, calculate calculations, see what you're taking off on, cut the panel a 1/4 inch shorter, okay, because you're edge banding. No longer you need to do that. All this is also done with diamond circular tooling. So anybody in the cabinet industry that's used a router can tell you that if you cut with a manual router and you're cutting any MDF or melamine, you usually have a better cut than you have with a saw blade. The reason for that is you have more revolutions going through the panel, where it's getting you a nicer, cleaner cut. Once again, on the pre-mills, they're circular cutters. Now they are diamonds, so they are going to last you about 100 times more than carbide. So these we put them in, and we wait for calls to come in or change them a couple years. Holz-her has them in stock. Florida Machinery has them in stock, and we can get them out to you real quick if needed. But these units are going to last a typical saw shop 3 to 4 working years, and you're going to have like it's a circular saw blade, actually circular cutter. You're going to have flawless finishing, no chipping on your top and the bottom of a panel. That's the reason we use pre-mill, to take away all your chipping. And it also, what it does is it closes all your substrate. So if you have melamine, when you cut it with an edge, or you cut it with a CNC, it's not a smooth. The moment you put it to the pre-mill, it gets very smooth. Now you give us a nice smooth surface to apply glue to. We apply glue, and this is the way we achieve our lines. So if you look at any of our other videos in Florida Machinery, you'll see we talk a lot about glue lines, and we talk about glue jet. The reason we do this is because this is the advantage we have over everybody else in the industry. Nobody can do this. Nobody can inject the glue into their substrate, and we can. So let's move on one more to the 1329. Let's go a little bit deeper into some of the functions we have on these 1329s. So we started off with our 1052, which our starter off machine is a compact machine. We went to our 1053, 1054, which is our start off machine with scraper and pre-mills. And now we have a 1329. 1329 will have pre-mill, will have corner rounding, scrapers, top and bottom router, and obviously pressure rollers. So once again, we're back in the back here. We have pre-milling. Now this one changes a little bit. Now we have multiple cartridges that we can load in this glue jet. Okay. Also, let's talk about a little bit about this glue jet technology. So our glue jet technology has a tracer. We're tracing the board. So if you have a board and you cut it today, and it is a melamine board, and it's 18 millimeters. I'm in Miami. My customers cut a board at 18 millimeters today. By tomorrow, with the moisture, we have 18.5, 18.9. We're all over the place. So other companies, when they're applying glue, they cannot consistently give you a glue line like us. They do a solid blob of glue. Okay, that causes a lot of problems when you have to come to very thin glue lines, when you're throwing PURs, stuff like that. So we are going to inject glue. It's going to be inject glue like a line. We're going to have slots of lines. Our top part of our panel is going to be traced. So no matter if the panel is 18 millimeters, 19 millimeters, within a millimeter of difference, which for it to be a millimeter difference, it's usually a bad panel. Our glue station would not know the difference. We're going to trace it. We're going to start at 18, and if it's 18.7 at the end or 18.8 37, 47, 18 and a half millimeters, it is going to trace it. You're not going to have any glue on top of the panel. So these are one of the advantages we have over our competitors of our glue station. A lot of our competitors say, yeah, you know, the machine works fine, it edge bands is fine, but at the end, I'm constantly having a guy 2 hours cleaning 30, 40 doors, you know, high gloss doors. On our machines, you're not going to be doing any cleaning. Our machines, when we install these machines, by the time it gets back in the machine, you will not have any glue on the top, bottom, or the sides of the panel. So all we're doing is really on our buffers is we're polishing. We're not cleaning on our buffers. So we have a high-speed pressure roller now. This is a new add-on. They added this on this year for these machines. So now we're no longer waiting for a pressure roller to move in and out. There's a big station for us. We need it quick. Now we have the new high-speed pressure roller. We're still back on our end trims, our front and bottom end trims. Our end trims, not only can they route straight, they can also end trim bevel. So guys that want to do a quite small little bevel to do your assembly on your panels of your doors, on your cabinets, you can achieve this with a touch of a button. Doesn't matter where you're starting at a 1052 or you're going to a 5096 Lumina, which is one of our top machines. All these machines are capable of doing that. We move to our routers. Our routers are Mott 6. That means they're 6 position. They're not one in and out. And all these are on servos. Key things, guys. If you're making your first purchase on Edgebanders, you might want to ask quite a bit of questions on this purchase. This is a long-term purchase. A lot of our competitors just seem to do it the cheap way. Cheap ways is pneumatics. So pneumatics is you have a dial, you're going to set your dial to a number, 1 millimeter. If you want it in and out, you have a piston that's going to push the unit in and out. We don't use pneumatics. We use pneumatics up to a 1308. Any machine like this, 1327 and up, we're using full servos. So one of the advantages of the servos is that we can get your radiuses to a 0.1 of a millimeter. So if you have a material today and you measure it and it's a 1 millimeter material, but you just realize it, you know what, I just bought 2 pallets of this material and it came in at 1.5 millimeter radius, okay? You can go to any of our screens, download the program for just your 1 millimeter radius, put a 1.5 on it. Now I want a 1.5 millimeter radius. Download that, store that program, and you can run that program within a couple seconds. No need to redo a program, redo any changes. You can even go to the same program as your 1 millimeter, and you're just going to run a couple pieces for that day. And you want to put from 1 to 1.5. You can run a 1.5 millimeter on the same machine, just on the controller. So anything you see is square boxes or the black boxes, they're servos. These are very useful for a company that's doing a lot of changeovers in a day. If you have a company that's a cut to size, a guy that is cutting multiple thicknesses, multiple materials, multiple brands of companies of boards, servos is the way to go. We prefer to put servos on our machines for anybody that's doing over 3 tool changes a day. So that's what we believe. We go to our double corner rounder in this machine. So the industry talks a lot about holsters machinery, about double corner rounding, our competitors. Almost all our competitors, yes, they offer double corner motor corner rounding. We on a 1329 and up is when we do our double corner rounding. Why? It is not the same unit. We are not just with a double motor corner rounding, we are just not doing the sides. We're doing the complete panel. Any operator that's run an Edgebander knows that if you're running one station and you're going to the next station to do a second operation, if that station, they're not 100% in sync, there will be a mark on your panel. There will be an indentation of one station coming in and out because it's very hard to get them together. Well, once you include a machine of ours with a double motor corner rounder, we're no longer just doing the sides like a competitor. We're doing the whole panel. So that's why you see these big stations and there's a lot of stuff on it. Well, we need all this stuff because we're not only doing the top and the front and back, we're doing the whole side, we're doing the whole panel. And that's an advantage. The reason we do this is that if you're doing a lot of doors, if you're doing a lot of corner rounding, if you're doing a lot of mostly corner rounding, and you have two different stations, like I said, you're not going to have it perfect. This station becomes your hogger. So now we're going to eat 95% of your material on this station. We're still going to radius your 1 millimeter, your 1.5 millimeter, your 2 or your 3 millimeter radius on this one. What this is going to do is do your corner rounding and your whole panel on the top and the bottom. That way, if this one is set at a 1.2 millimeter and you're at 1.4 millimeter here, whether it's this one's off by mistake, this one is going to achieve the whole radius. And it's one consistent a finish. There's no stopping and endings. So that gives us a very nice clean cut, very nice in and outs. So if you're a company that cares about your corner rounding, you have want very good quality in your corner rounding, this is definitely the machine to consider. We definitely believe the 1329 to be the right machine for that. Scraper units, also on servos. We have a flat scraper. So most of our machines from the 1308 on has flat scraping. We call it glue line scraping. It's more of a flat scraper. Any bit of glue that may have come out in the process of the pressure roller, of just anything that could have come out, our glue line scraper is going to pick that up. Okay, and this is the way it prevents our scraper units, our buffer units to get full of glue. Anybody that runs an Edgebander understands. If you're running high glosses, a lot of people tell me, "Oh, Manny, I got to turn off my high gloss. When I'm running high gloss, I gotta turn off my buffers." The reasons for that is because they're getting glue on their buffers. So the moment you get glue on a high gloss panel and you're smearing old glue, you're gonna see that. So obviously that is not ran on a holz-her machine. That's ran on our competitors, but that's what happens. So let's go by the front of the machine. Let's talk about a little bit about programming on these machines. So once again, one of the things you want to do if you're purchasing one of these machines is you want to talk about nesting shoes. So if you're cutting on a CNC router and you're making holes, or there's any holes in your panel that we need to respect, and your edge banding not to dip in, this is one of the 5 pieces of a nesting shoe. Okay, and we add this assembly. It's not complete, but the whole assembly, we would add it on any of our machines. Most of my 1329s that we sell, we like to include nesting shoes already on it, top and bottom. So this machine, let's say you're doing 8 millimeter cam holes, or you're doing 8 millimeter shelf dowel holes. This machine is intelligent that we can tell it, if you see a hole anywhere in your panel that is under 8 millimeters, disregard. Or we can say, if you see a hole that's over this much distance, put it in play. So this is the advantage of our 1329, 13.7 streamer series models, sprint series models, that we got full control on the panel. We actually can do a lot of different things to play around with obstacles that we have on a regular Edgebander with auto controller. For instance, if you're doing lazy corner units, we like to put programs for corner units, because if you have a shelf, now you have a flat front, but your sides are triangular. So try to run a triangular piece to most of your Edgebanders. You're usually disactivating your end trims. You're most of the time you're disactivating half the machine. You're only basically gluing and top and bottom routing. On these machines, we can actually start and stop our tape where we want to. So now our tape becomes a parameter. Where do we want our tape to start in our panel? Where do we want it to end? So in this case, we typically comes from the factory anywhere from 10 to 15 millimeters in the front. That means we're leaving 15 millimeters in the front of your panel when your tape is going in to cut. But in this case, if you have a triangular piece, you want 0 millimeters in the panel. You do not want it to stick out. So now we can go there and we can put a simple 0. Okay, your edge banding is going to start at the front of the panel. Now how about the back? Okay, so we do have it in the rear also. Okay, so on this machine we had a 10 millimeter rear. We want to give you 10 millimeter material on the back so your entrance can cut. On this case, we're going to move it to 0. So right there, I just introduced a new product, a new program to the system by doing simple changes. So now if you have a company, you're running a lot of different parts, and you have guys at different times coming in and using the machines. Now with this machine, they can go to home, they can go to a program file screen, and they can see, you can find all your programs. You have the EVA programs, you have your PURs, you have your 3 millimeter radiuses, you have your 2 millimeter radiuses, you have your 1 millimeter radius, you have your tapes, your flat tapes, and always in the bottom, you'll see the special programs that we make. All these programs here are special programs. We'll leave them for you guys. So now you guys, typically for what you need, we will set your programs and install, get you running. Another option that we'd like to talk about a little bit is synchronized feeding. So guys that are doing two-tone tapes, when you have two-tone tapes, the ways edgebanders usually typically work, no matter who you buy from or what edgebander it is for the edgebander to glue, you usually got to get to the middle of the copy wheel. That means in the middle of your big wheel, you need some sort of tape for it to glue. Most of the time, if you look at our competitors, all our competitors, their tape feeds on a pneumatic cylinder. Very inconsistent. Very inconsistent. Non-controllable, very inconsistent. What happens with a pneumatic cylinder is that with time, as you get water into your system, into your machine, and it happens, your cylinders start reacting different on any machine. So now instead of stroking maybe 20 millimeters to the front, now you got a 15 millimeter. That's why you guys are constantly adjusting these things. We don't have to adjust these things. This is on our electrical system. We control it with our touch of a button. We can activate our synchronized drive or disactivate our synchronized drive. So let me talk a little bit about synchronized drive. So synchronized drives, what it is for us is we're no longer injecting the tape to the middle of your copy wheel. What happens is if you have memory on your PVC tapes, anybody that has a big roll, like especially 2 to 3 millimeter, you'll see memory. Your tape is going to tend to move forward, go up against the track of the machine. What happens is that tape is hitting the track as it's moving, okay? And it's very inconsistent for us to be placing our two tapes at the same line if the track is moving. On holz-her, you have a simple button, synchronized feeding. What this tends to do is the minute that the board goes into the system, because we're running on milliseconds, the moment it gets to our pre-mill, basically, it is going to start injecting tape at the same time that the board is there. So if you say, I want 10 millimeters in my front of my board, the moment it hits here, there will be, and it starts applying pressure on the pressure roller, you will have 10 millimeter on your board, whether it's the front or back. Okay, so that helps you have a more solid, stable tape. A lot of the guys, when you have a long closet guys that have running all day 8-foot, 9-foot panels, they complain a lot that, you know what, my tape's rising. That's a big complaint we get. One of the guys will say, oh, you know what, I'm done with this manufacturer. I bought 2 machines from him. I've went up and now I can't buy from anymore. You know, we tell them, look, this is not going to happen anymore. These are the reasons that we feel that holz-her is a better product for our customers. The reason we sell holz-her is because we believe in this product to be the best edgebander in the market. And it's all about all the little small features. So, solid wood strips. Let's talk about a little bit of solid wood strips. Okay. So in any of these machines, we can produce solid wood strip edges. Most of our machines are to a 6 millimeter flat 2 millimeter radius. If you want to do a whole 8 millimeter solid wood, on the Sprint series, we can definitely do 8 and on. So if you guys are applying glue, we can also do your corner rounding in wood without no problem. Pressure rollers. Our pressure rollers are fat, like we said, fast speed pressure rollers. No longer are you going to have to be sitting waiting for the machines to be moving in and out as you change your programs and wait for it. Also, one of the features we just got in, a good addition that holz-her just did this, as you're working the machine. So if you're a high production shop and you're running the machine, there's no time to stop. And you need to be switching programs. No longer do you have to wait for the last board to get out the machine to inject a new program. This is time saving. Now you can change the machine, change the program. The machine would understand where every board is into the machine. The moment that last board moves out, you can put your new machine in with the new program. It will honor it. We've added a couple little features onto this too. Let's go to real quick to our program screen. So we're our 1 millimeter program. This is the way we download it. Simple button. Let's say we're running 2 millimeter program on radius 1 and 2, side 1 and 2. On Edgebander language, side 1 and 2 is either your sides of your cabinets, or if you're going to process a door, you need 4 sides, so it's side 1 and 2. That means there's no corner rounding. 3 and 4, the difference is we're activating a corner rounder. Okay, so that's the language in it. So the moment you have side 1 and 2, you can touch a simple button. Now it changed to 3 and 4. So as you're operating the machine, there's no longer having to go back, move things around. Everything's done on this controller. This is one of the things we like about these Sprint series machines. Very fast machines, very reliable. Our customers love them. We have plenty of them in Florida. Become one of our best sellers, to be honest with you, over 1057s and manual machines. People are getting more into automation. People are understanding more technology, and people are asking us for automation. So this is a great machine to start start changing over to a medium-sized shop. You can start introducing automation into your production. Full set of units on this machine. There's nothing we're missing. Flat scrapers, end trims, buffers, just about all you need. Like I said, we have about 200 programs you can store there. Most of our customers don't store over 30 programs. So at any time of the day, you can just hit that program, download it, and now all your settings, as you turn on the machine, all your parameters and all your settings, your servos will move to these parameters that are stored, and you will have flawless finish time and time again, once and again. So guys, thank you. I appreciate the time. I hope you learned something today with edge banding.